welcome to episode 4 of Let's Talk About Fantastic Beasts. First of all, I just want to apologise if there's any background noise. There is currently a football match going on and I am right next to the football ground. So if you hear any profanities or drum beats, that is the football match and not me. Second of all, I just wanted to say there won't be an autograph update this week, as I haven't received any autographs this week. It's been a pretty bad week for anything really. I don't think I've received anything in the post at all this week, which is unusual for me. So there won't be an autograph update. And third, I am wearing my slightly creepy Daniel Radcliffe t-shirt, which I'll show you now. I'm wearing a slightly creepy Daniel Radcliffe t-shirt because it was Daniel Radcliffe's 27th birthday yesterday. So happy birthday to Daniel Radcliffe, because, you know, we all know he watches all of my videos. So as always, we will be getting our information from the book, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, and the internet. So this week's topic is hippogriffs. So let's see what the book says on hippogriffs. Hippogriff. Ministry of Magic classification 3X's, which means competent wizard should cope. So if there happens to be a hippogriff in Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, Newt should cope. The hippogriff is native to Europe, though now found worldwide. It has the head of a giant eagle and the body of a horse. It can be tamed, though this should be attempted only by experts. And then there is writing from Harry or Ron saying, has Hagrid read this book? Eye contact should be maintained when approaching a hippogriff. Bowing shows good intentions. If the hippogriff returns the greeting, it is safe to draw closer. The hippogriff burrows for insects, but will also eat birds and small mammals. Breeding hippogriffs build nests upon the ground in which they will lay a single large and fragile egg, which hatches within 24 hours. The fledgling hippogriff should be ready to fly within a week, though it will be a matter of months before it is able to accompany its parent on longer journeys. So that's what the book says. The only hippogriff we have seen in the series is Buckbeak, or Witherwings. It has a nice picture of some concept art of a hippogriff here, if it will let me show you. But that's a lovely sort of concept art for a hippogriff, or Buckbeak even. A hippogriff is a magical creature that has the front legs, wings and head of a giant eagle, and the body, hind legs and tail of a horse. It is very similar to another mythical creature, the griffin, with the horse rear end replacing the lion. So a griffin has the head of an eagle and the body of a lion, whereas a hippogriff has the head of an eagle and wings and stuff, and the body of a horse. The breeding of fancy hippogriffs is an established wizarding career, with known breeders including Newt Scamander's mother. Wow, okay, hold the fort. I did not know that until just now. So Newt Scamander's mother bred, that's the word, not breeded. Newt Scamander's mother bred hippogriffs. So the chances of a hippogriff being in Fantastic Beasts is quite big then, actually. Hippogriffs come in several different colours, including stormy grey, bronze, pinkish roan, gleaming chestnut and inky black. There's a lot on hippogriffs online, actually. There's a lot, and I couldn't obviously talk about it all. But let's go hippogriffs in Harry's sort of time at Hogwarts. A herd of hippogriffs are kept at Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry, and Rubeus Hagrid used them in his first Care of Magical Creatures class in 1993, so Prisoner of Azkaban. Buckbeak was a hippogriff that was a part of the Hogwarts herd and had many encounters with the trio during the course of their education. He lived with Rubeus Hagrid and many other hippogriffs, but was later sentenced to death due to being taunted and provoked by Draco Malfoy and attacking him. Buckbeak was sentenced for this act by the Committee for the Disposal of Dangerous Creatures, most of whom had been threatened by Lucius Malfoy, Draco's father, into voting for that verdict. Then it basically gives you the plot of Prisoner of Azkaban. And then it says other appearances. During the Yule Ball at Hogwarts in 1994, hippogriffs are mentioned in the Weird Sisters song Do the Hippogriff. The song encourages listeners to do a dance that draws its inspiration from this creature, flying off from a cliff and swooping down to the ground. In the winter of 1995, Sirius Black sings a Christmas carol, God Rest Ye Merry Hippogriffs, which of course is a, what's the word, parody maybe, on the song God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen. So let's go to the etymology. Derived from the Greek word hippos, meaning horse, and the magical creature known as the griffin. In this case, it has the body of a horse as opposed to a lion, but keeps the head of an eagle. So let's go on to real world a little bit. Let's talk about the real world mythology behind a hippogriff. Because a hippogriff was not, I mentioned this in a few of my videos. We did Acromantula, which, as far as my knowledge goes, were made for Harry Potter. We did Nifflers, which again, as far as my knowledge goes, was made for Harry Potter. We did Dragons, which of course were not made for Harry Potter, and then we go into hippogriffs, which also were not made for Harry Potter. The first recorded mention of the hippogriff was made by the Latin poet Virgil in his Eclogues, I think, Eclogues. Though sometimes depicted during the classical era and during the rule of the Merovingians, I hope I've said that right, it was used by Ludovico Ariosto in his Orlando Furioso at the beginning of the 16th century. So basically the first recorded mention of the hippogriff was in the beginning of the 16th century. Within the poem, the hippogriff is a steed born of a mare and a griffin. It is extremely fast and is presented as being able to fly around the world and to the moon. It is ridden by magicians and the wandering knight Ruggiero, who from the creature's back frees the beautiful Angelica. Sometimes depicted on heraldic coats of arms, the hippogriff became a subject of visual art in the 19th century when it was often drawn by Gustave Doré. And then there's a lot. So we have beliefs and symbolism, modern representations, which of course Harry Potter will be here. The character was used to create the theme for a roller coaster called Flight of the Hippogriff at the Florida amusement park, The Wizarding World of Harry Potter, in which the cars are wicker covered and pass by a statue of a hippogriff in a nest. That's all we can really talk about in terms of history and stuff, because we don't want to be here for hours, obviously. Let's talk about the likelihood of them being in Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, because this is predominantly what my series is about. So, the new information I've found today, just by talking to you guys, is that Newt's mother was a hippogriff breeder, which is interesting. So I assume Newt had a lot of experience with hippogriffs growing up. The likelihood of there being a hippogriff in Fantastic Beasts, I think it would be good. I would like to see another hippogriff other than Buckbeak. However, I think it would be more interesting for fans if we saw beasts we haven't seen before, like Nifflers. So let's talk about merchandise. As far as I can recall, I have a little Buckbeak plush, teddy bear kind of thing, and I have a Buckbeak keychain. But I don't really think I have anything else hippogriff-wise in my collection. So in terms of merchandise, there are quite a few things you can get that feature Buckbeak. I think Buckbeak has his own Lego. I think there's pin badges. I know I have a keychain. There's probably jewellery that features Buckbeak on it, like a necklace. And there is the big Buckbeak from the studio tour in London, whereas I have a smaller, older version. So there's a little bit of merchandise for hippogriffs, but there's not as much as, say, for dragons or anything like that. I think that's all we can really talk about today in terms of hippogriffs. So, thank you very much for watching. If you would like any more information about hippogriffs, or indeed any of the beasts we've talked about so far, please let me know, because I consider myself to know quite a bit about Harry Potter, so I will try and answer your questions as much as I can if you have any. Like I said, there won't be an autograph update this week. Thank you very much for joining. I will just tell you what's next week because I have it written down. Next week's Let's Talk About Fantastic Beasts is about the Phoenix, which will be very interesting because there is a lot of real world stuff, let's call it that, even though it's, mythology based. There is a lot of real world stuff on the Phoenix, rather than it just being Harry Potter, so that should be interesting. Thank you very much for watching, I really do appreciate it. I will see you next week with another Let's Talk About Fantastic Beasts, and I will see you next Wednesday as well. So thank you very much, bye bye!